Hey friends, this is going to be an extra special all spider edition of one of my videos. So I have to ask you a little favor ahead of time. So if you like this kind of thing, can you click the like button now? And if you really like it, could you press the subscribe button? And if you ultra super really love this stuff and you're willing to pay for it, go to my Patreon. So on my Patreon account, you can get on there for as little as $1 a month. That's all, just $1 a month. And that will help me out a lot. Okay, so that's the stuff done. Let's go on with the spiders. Oh boy. Okay, so let me tell you the story first. So I am currently trying to raise a particular species of spiders. It's called Steatoda triangulosa. I'm growing them in the lab. I haven't had a lot of success before, but right now everything's coming along very nicely. And we're getting lots of egg sacs and getting babies emerging and good things like that. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Now, the catch is the little unpleasant surprise, the disappointing bit, is I started raising these guys and wow, it takes a long time. I'm used to Steatoda tepidariorum, which takes about 10 days, 9 or 10 days to produce, to lay an egg sac and then for the babies to hatch out and go crawling around hunting and everything. And I had these egg sacs and I've just been watching them every day and not seeing anything. So earlier last week, what I did is I fired up the microscope and took a look, and the egg sac is this big fluffy mass of spider silk. They don't put an outer sheath on it in this species, so you can see into it. It's a little murky because you're looking through a cotton ball to see the embryos inside, but you can still see things. So, if you look here, you can see this is what I saw on the 23rd of June. Yeah, can you tell what's going on here? So we're looking deep into this fluffy egg sac, and there what you see are these little spherical things. Those are the embryos. And if you look closely at the one in the center, you can see it's got legs wrapped around its yolk sac or abdomen. Just bunch of very tightly, like it's hugging its own abdomen, so it's all wrapped around there. It's held in place by a embryonic cuticle, so there's a tough sheath, a transparent sheath of chitin-like material that's surrounding the whole thing, so it's all swaddled in, so it's got its legs wrapped around and it can't do much else besides just sit there. And so one of the first signs that we go looking for when we're expecting them to be emerging soon is we look for a molt. So they're going to shed that big cuticle, so they're just going to pop right out of it. I haven't witnessed it happening. It's very quick. But that's what we were looking for. So what happens is I come in a couple days later on the 25th of June, and this is what I see. Okay, so there's the egg sac. There's the mama. You got to have mom show up. She's sitting there. And if you look really closely at the bottom right, that's an egg sac that's pretty close to hatching out. And you can see these white little clouds in there. That white stuff is the bunched up, discarded cuticles of the individual spiders. So that's the first thing I look for is, oh, well, they've come out of their embryonic cuticle, they've molted one time, and that means they're getting ready to emerge. Okay, so what you also see in this particular image is there's the mama spider, bottom right, there's our oldest egg sac. Also what you can see is in the top right, that's a younger egg sac. That one's like a week or two behind the other one. And you can see little pale balls in there. Those are the eggs maturing in there. So they're They're probably developing quite nicely at this point, but I don't want to peel them out to look carefully at them. Okay, so you got it? Come in on the 25th of June, and I see the embryonic cuticles all over the place. And so I know something is going to happen soon. And so I come in on the 25th of June, and I'm looking. And what you see here is, again, I'm looking down. And now it looks different, doesn't it? They're not all wrapped up in a little ball. Now you can see legs all over the place. Pale, soft legs everywhere. And it's not doing much. They're just sitting there, looking interesting. So we see these little balls with legs all over the place. That's the stage we're at here. So this is, again, the 25th of June. So they've been over 3 weeks in development, and this is the point we're at this point, which is a little discouraging. I would like them to develop a little more rapidly, but okay, I'll take what I get. All right, so then I come in the next day. This is the 26th of June. And what do we see? Well, there's the egg sac, and you can see it's all fluffy and, as usual, just spider silk all over the place. And let's see, I'll focus down and we'll start to see some things. So if you look down near the bottom, you can see these dark legs. Again, obscured by the egg sac, but you can see them there. There's little legs sticking out there, and they're getting darker. They're getting hairy. And if you look closely, you might see they kind of twitch a little bit. So we got movement, we've got pigmentation, we've got hairy legs all over the place. But it's still a little bit obscured. Okay, let's come in a day later. So on the 27th of June. Now at this point I'm getting a little eager because, hey, it's been a long time, right? So let's see what we can see on the 27th of June. And now when we look, okay, right away you can see those white things. That's the discarded mold. But you can also see movement all over the place. Look at there. And you see some little black legs down in there. Ooh, things are really happening. So at this point I'm beginning to think, okay, it's going to be any day now. They're going to emerge. We've got pigment, we got movement, we got legs. Come on, they've got to be ready to emerge from the egg sac now. And look at them, they're just busy down there. When you focus deep, you can see all throughout the egg sac, there's these pale little baby spiders stirring. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that sweet? So you want them to come out so you can play with them. I know that's what you're all thinking, right? So look at all that motion. That's why I'm thinking, yeah, it's got to happen now. They're getting ready to come out. Do I need to tell you that I'm going to be a little bit disappointed? Yeah, these guys are slow at everything. So they're going to take their sweet time emerging from the egg sac. And that's okay. Okay, 28th of June. So now it's been 27 days since these eggs were laid. And I notice a really obvious difference here. If you look at this, it used to be just kind of pale everywhere with white spider silk all over the place. Now it's looking decidedly darker. There's black blotches all over the place. Oh, now this is getting really suggestive. So they're pigmenting up even more. Again, the egg sac obscures everything, but you can see legs in there. I'm not seeing as much motion here, but I did see some. So they're getting there. Okay, we just stepped down to a lower power so you can see a little bit differently. So the egg sac looks very different at this point because now it's pale, but it's all got these dark mottled bits through it. That's the spiders maturing inside. Compare that to the egg sac above it, which is still pale. Lots of little round eggs in there. They'll be hatching out probably next week for me. We'll see. Okay, so things are looking pretty suggestive at this point. I'm thinking we're getting there. And, you know, it was a struggle. I'm sitting here and I want these to come out. And I mentioned in a blog post that no, I was going to wait because I want to determine the precise time of development. How long does it take for these little spiders to hatch out? And that's what I said. But then I realized, hey, I've got 4 other egg sacs of Steatoda triangulosa. I could jump the gun a little bit on this one. So I went in this morning and I brought out a pair of forceps and did the spider equivalent of a C-section, I guess. I just kind of peeled open the egg sac a little bit. And to my surprise, as soon as I opened it, oh man, the babies were ready. They leapt out at me. They just kind of surged out of that gap in their egg sac. So that's what we're about to see here, is I'm going to zoom in just after I've torn open the egg sac, and you'll see what I mean. It is just a little hive of activity. Look at all those spiders just crawling around, anxious, and hopping around, popping out of the torn side of the egg sac. Isn't that neat? They're beautiful. Okay, let's change the mag a little bit so we can see the big picture here. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get it in focus right away because the first thing I had to do once I got these open is I had to get a paintbrush ready and start flicking the spiders back down because they were trying to escape. I don't know why. It's such a delightful home for them. So they were all just rushing around, and so I was busy moving spiders from the edge of the container and things like that. But I finally get it in focus. See? Look, it just took me a moment. And I don't know. What do you think of this? Is this kind of your nightmare vision to see this big bag of spiders just peeled open and spiders scurrying about and rushing to escape? Well, they're not rushing too fast. Things are nice and cozy inside that egg sac. They got their brothers and sisters right there. So they're all snuggled up, and they were in no hurry to get out. I mean, the ones right at the edge, yeah, sure, they rushed out. So I thought I'd check. So I'm just using my forceps to peel open the egg sac a little more and see, oh yeah, I got them agitated. So I do that, and then some more are going to rush out. So yeah, they're coming out. They're looking good. So again, look at all those nice, cute little spiders. I think I'm going to zoom in on some of them in a moment. Yeah, so they're just all hatching out. One of the things I've noticed is compared to Steatoda, these freshly emerged Steatoda spiders are a bit more robust. Steatoda comes out, they're kind of rubbery legged. It's hard to describe, but they're kind of limp and flexible and not quite as strongly legged as these guys are, so they're a little slower to get around. So maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's the secret for Steatoda, is they're getting a little bit more mature in the egg sac before they emerge. Oh, look at that, isn't it? Don't you want to just get in there and pet those little guys? They're like little puppies just running around, stumbling about. So yeah, going for a walk. Again, you can see the nice darkly pigmented hairs on the legs. The abdomen has nothing. It's got hairs, but it doesn't have the pigment pattern I expect of Steatoda triangulosa. Steatoda triangulosa has a kind of zigzag stripe going down the side of the abdomen. There isn't a hint of that here. So that's another thing I'm going to be watching over the next few days, is keeping an eye on them, just seeing how that pigment develops. They're just going to get darker and darker, I know, as time goes by. So aren't they lovely? Come back, get in focus. Come on, guy. Oh, there we go. Isn't that just the cutest little spider? Anyway, they're running around in there. I'm about to close up the lid on them again. What I did next is I took all those spiders and I left them in that container for now, and I just dumped a bunch of Drosophila in there. So they've got a lot of flies, wingless flies, running around in the same place. We'll see if they can manage to eat some of those. The plan next is tomorrow I'm going in, and what I need to do is separate out each of the spiders. I don't think they would eat each other, but I don't want to test it. So I'm going to separate them out, put each one in an individual in a vial, and give them some flies to eat, and keep an eye on them that way and see how well they grow. I also want to count them and see how many Steatoda triangulosa come out of an egg sac anyway. I don't know. Before I've seen it's like 20-ish, so I'll have to count these guys and see what happens. And as I mentioned, watch their development, look at the pigments and see how they're shaping up, how they get the little stripies that are so characteristic of this particular species. So wasn't that fun? Yeah, I'm so excited. And like I said, I got 4 more egg sacs, and I got the mama in there, and I got a bunch of Steatoda as well that I'm growing up. And my wife, oh, where'd I put it? Where'd it go? Somewhere. Yes, this is my desk. It's kind of cluttered. But anyway, yeah, I also have a vial here with a Steatoda egg sac, which will be useful for doing a comparison with these guys. So I'll be growing them up over the next few weeks. Yeah, we're making progress. Pretty soon I will have more spiders than... Actually, right now I have more spiders than I know what to do with. This is spider season. You can go out in your garage or your garden and you can collect spiders out the wazoo. It's really delightful. So anyway, we got lots of spiders. We're going to have even more after these all hatch out. And I'll leave you with that. You can right now just take a look at all my Patreon subscribers passing by. Don't you want to join them? Okay, I mentioned it earlier, but I'll mention it again. If you made it this far, I'm impressed. You're not arachnophobic, I guess. Maybe you even find them as cute as I do. So yeah, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button down below. And I'll keep you apprised of how their development proceeds in the next few days or so, few weeks. They're slow, but they're tough, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you all later.